All right, we're recording. Welcome to Design 105. This is our last week for this mod. I can't believe it's over. It's very bittersweet. I'm sure you guys are probably grateful to have a little break. But for this class, it does come to an end. And so I wanted to find out, how has week 3 treated you? Do you feel like you're kind of getting the hang of this design thing with InDesign, or do you find that it's been a bit challenging? Little confusing, yes. The one thing about having a 4-week mod is that it does fly by, and there's a ton of information and a lot of practice that needs to go into it, and it is a little confusing. I can see that. So I'm glad to know that some of you are grasping it, and those of you that are having some challenges are still seeking out the Student Success Center. So if you guys have any questions this week, please let me know, and you can email me, or you can reach out to the Student Success Center. Our class tutor, Carly Phillips, is standing by. I talked to her, and she said that she's ready to have you reach out to, or she's ready to reach out to you if you have any questions or need some help. So let me know if you have questions throughout this class. I'm going to start out with a quick video. Discussion 3 was kind of talking about the contrast, repetition, alignment, proximity, all of these things that we have been discussing this last week. And I wanted to show a video. I posted this in the discussion, but I'm not sure how many people actually saw it. So we're going to watch it real quick, and then we're going to go into our quizzes and a few other tidbits of information you're going to need to know for week 4. Okay? It looks like it's not working right. Oh, well, it is working. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna switch gears here. I'm switching gears on you guys. We're gonna do the quizzes real quick because I know I'll forget to do this at the end. I like to reward my students who come to class, and you guys know, those of you, Amanda, you've been here a few times. I just like to go through the quizzes real quick for the week so that everyone gets to see, and it's no surprise when they take the quiz. Okay, so let's do today's. Today's Monday, or, oh wait, we're on Tuesday. Let me go to Monday real quick. Okay, so here is the Career Services. You're going to want to visit the Career Services Division to find this answer, and I almost hate to give you the answer because I really want you to try to go and figure it out. But in this section, there's an icon that says Career Services, and the question is, once you graduate and are an alumni, you can no longer take advantage of the Career Services. So you guys who have taken this, answer is false. Right? It's always available to you. Okay? There's no expiration date on this, which is really cool to those of you who are going to be graduates pretty soon. This is a really awesome resource. Lots of, it's kind of like a job forum. Postings go up. This is a good way to seek out some jobs in your career or your industry. Okay, let's do this one. You'll have to watch this video. The shortcut key is what to undo. Now, I've been saying this all throughout class, so it shouldn't be a surprise. So what do you think? What's the answer? Is Amanda? Yeah, it's Command Z, absolutely. So Command Z, I believe if you're on a PC, it's Control Z. So, but this answer on a Mac is Command Z. Nice job. So far, so good. 5 out of 5. Okay, so again, another question about tuition, paying for college. My tuition may increase at least once during any calendar year. What do you think? I'm trying to kind of breeze through this, so let me see. Students can expect the institution to increase at least once during any calendar year. So the answer, I believe, is true. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. Okay, good. Well, that's kind of a bummer. That's okay. Another tuition question. My tuition may increase at least once during, oh, did we already do that one? Oh, it looks like we did. A minute. Forgot to hit next. There we go. Okay, how many days late on my payment to the school before it will go to a collections agency? What do you guys think? Let's see, I'm looking over here. Zoom in. I think it's at 15 days is what I think it says, 15 days. Yeah, you guys are faster than me. I can't read that fast. Oh, whoops. Okay, let's do the next one. Hey, I answered that question. All right, and our last one. If you want to go back to the way a document looked when you last saved it, go to File, Revert. Is this true or false? What do you think? It's false. You would go to File, Undo. Yeah, you go to File, Undo is the term for it. Oh, wait, I thought, you know what? Let's check this. I thought it was false too. Maybe I just misread. Let's do this real quick. Let's look at the drop-down menu here. Let me do a quick share for the desktop. Go to File. I don't see Revert on here. Oh, there it is. Well, that's weird. Okay, maybe I misread the question. Yeah, they must have added something. Maybe this is an old video because I know that if you need to undo something, it's under Edit, Undo, if you want to revert to the latest. There is a File Revert, but I'm not quite sure. I've never actually used that button. So maybe we should have watched the video. So watch the video and it'll probably answer our questions. I'll watch it too after this class so I can make sure I'm on board. But all right, so guess now you won't make the same mistake I did. See, that's why I do this. All right, guys, let's do this video real quick, and then we'll talk about this. Let me know if you can hear it when I push play. Can you hear it? Okay. Okay, So what did you guys think? This video had no words, but did it make sense? Yeah, it's pretty cool. So wait, what are some of the terms that stuck out to you? Yeah, it got that point across. And I think without the words, you kind of paid attention to it a little bit more. At least I did. I was very curious to see how they were going to explain it without using, verbal communication. But the images were very cool. They talked about contrast. They talked about um, uh, proximity and alignment. A lot of different terms that we've been learning in week 3. And so it gave you kind of a visual example for each one. Yeah, I think words would have taken away from it, absolutely. So I think those cool sound effects, a really cool visual video, and I thought it was really fun, so I just wanted to share it because it really went perfectly with last week's discussion. So, all right, so let's talk about what we've got going on this week, all right? I want to talk about our discussion. We don't have a discussion this week. There is a reflection, and it is really encouraged that you post. It's not something that's graded or required, but just share with me and some of the classmates any of your thoughts or ideas about the last couple weeks of this mod and how this class has helped you with your career goals, or maybe the direction that you're going in with your career. Maybe talk about some new concepts you've learned and how it's helped you. Whether or not you participate in this, I mean, I really hope you do. It really helps us, focus on the good and be able to expand a little bit more on what has helped you, because each student is different. But also, you're going to have in your assignments for this week, you're going to have a quiz, and it's worth quite a bit of points. And so it's kind of an easy quiz. You are required to be honest, but I need you to. I think it'll ask questions about how this applies to your career. It's going to ask what did you learn in lectures. It's going to ask what you thought of the demonstrations or the assignments. And so it's just going to kind of ask you a few questions, but it is worth 15 points. So if you missed a few daily checkpoints, this is a great way to get those points back. And it's a really short one. Do be detailed. It is one of those open answer kind of quizzes. They'll ask you a question, require you type in an answer. Don't be too short. You'll get dock points for not saying enough. I've had some students just kind of say it was good, or not much explanation went into their answer. So we do want to hear from you and want to make sure that your response is a few more words than just 2 or 3. Just a nice sentence or 2, just explaining the answer to the question. So it's a quick one, and don't forget to take that because it is part of your week 4 assignments. Now, let's talk about the final project. Are you guys ready? We're gearing up for it. It is quite labor intensive. If you haven't been keeping up with assignments, you probably want to go to the Student Success Center for this one. Now, assessment 4, we're going to be working on the restaurant menu. Remember last week you turned in a restaurant cover, and you also had 4 other pages, inside pages, designed with your theme. You didn't have to place any images or text right now. We were just kind of coming up with a menu template that you're going to be using for this. So if you did week 3's assignment, then you're right where you need to be, and it shouldn't be too time consuming because you got the hard part out of the way. Now it's just you're kind of playing Tetris with the pictures and the text. Now I will let you know, I will warn you that the text that they provide, and they do provide all the pictures and the text that you need to use, download the zip file. And I went ahead and did that earlier today. So let me pull it up and show you what's in it. They do give you a text document, and you're going to have some sections like pizza or sandwiches or salads, and you're going to want to group these sections kind of like you would see on a menu. You would have the salad section, and only in that section will be the salad menu items. But sometimes you might have too much on one page and not enough on another. I give you permission to grab more text off online from another menu if you need to fill in gaps. What I'm going to be looking for is alignment. I'm going to be looking for proximity. I'm going to be looking for proper aligning to a baseline grid. I want to see that you have applying all these things that we've learned over the last 3 weeks into this assignment. So I want to see balance. I want to see unity, and I want to see a consistent theme throughout. So if you need to grab other pictures or text from the internet, that's fine. As long as it helps you piece together your menu the way that you envision it. I don't want to see empty pages or wasted space. I don't want to see you filling in every corner either. I just want to make sure that there's balance. And so if you need to grab another salad item to make it line up with the pizza section, then great, that's totally fine. So I just want to let you know there's some flexibility there. I really don't care so much about the content as long as there's no spelling errors. Yeah, just make it look professional. We're going to be talking about some menu examples, and I'm going to pull some up in just a minute of what we're looking for. This menu document, I'll show you real quick. See if it'll let me pull it up. So it's kind of grouped it for you already, so that's nice. It kind of saves you some time. But if you'll notice, some are really short sections and some are longer sections, so you just kind of have to play with it. You have this really long paragraph about the history. See what you can do. I don't know if this is necessarily the star of the show, so it can be in small font, kind of at the very end of the menu if you'd like to put it at the back. But I'll show you how we're going to be designing our menu items, because in InDesign, this is kind of what we're going to be going for. This is this design here. Okay, so we're going to have banners, we're going to have titles, menu, subtitles, and just look how I've aligned it. Okay, all the prices line up on the same place. All of the menu items, if I were to draw this ruler here, see this right here? All the text boxes line up exactly along this menu item, and if they don't, bring it in. Okay, we want to make sure everything is aligned properly. Okay, so all of these menu items, the titles line up perfectly. We just want to show alignment. We want to show that everything looks professional, just like Erin said. Okay, so I'll show you how to get this set up in just a little bit. Are there any questions about this assignment, what you're going to need to know? This is the grading rubric. I have posted it, and just take a look at it because it's going to tell you exactly what you need to know. Now, here's a big thing. There are quite a few of you who still haven't mastered packaging your InDesign file. If you don't know how to do that, please find out, because in this final, we've been doing this each week, so if you haven't nailed it by week 4, you're not going to get any points. There is no middle ground here. You either know how to do it or you didn't. So that's 30 points that you can lose automatically if you don't have it down. So please make sure that you go and at least figure out how to do that properly. Once you do, you should be smooth sailing, because the rest of this, just take my feedback that I gave you from week 3. I made sure to spend some time on your assignments. If you didn't get any feedback, that means that it was good to go. So that means you did a great job and you didn't need to make any changes. You could move forward with the way that you had it. If I did give feedback, you need to implement that. That'll be part of your grade here. Revisions from week 3, cover design must be included in the final. So you need to make the changes that I've given you, the feedback I've given you needs to be applied. All right, so are there questions about this part? This is the final project. I know week 4, everyone's gonna be calling and emailing, needing help. I'm not gonna be able to get to everyone, unfortunately. I will be at my open lab tomorrow, 2 whole hours for you to come and work on your assignment. It's not a lecture. You just come and go. It's free tutoring if you need help on your assignments. Also, anyone who has their assignment completed can come and turn in it, get a grade right then and there. So you don't have to wait till the end of week 4 to get your grade. So come and enjoy. It's a great opportunity. Some students just come and just want to work. They work quietly and then they'll pop in and out if they have questions. It's not just kind of my office hours. I'll be calling students. I'll be in and out emailing. So, but I'm also there to answer questions or work with you if you want some one-on-one. So it's a great opportunity to use me. After Tuesday, you're going to need to go to another open lab by a different instructor. The schedule is posted under the announcements, or contact the class tutor or the Student Success Center is always there. No appointment needed. They'll be open up through Saturday, so take advantage of them. So if I'm not, after Tuesday, if I'm not available, definitely use those other options, okay? So I hope to see everyone there, and those who do come will get some one-on-one help, which I think is huge. Are there any questions about this final? Any questions about the assignment? Okay, I'm sure there will be as you go on, but again, this is all that you're going to be graded on here, and the rest should be pretty self-explanatory. Just read through the assignment pretty carefully, okay? All right, so let's move on to Now I was trying to pull up my slides and I don't know if they pulled up. Let me close out real quick. Let me close my PowerPoint. I don't think it's responding. Sorry, guys. Let me try opening it again. Carol, I'll share my whiteboard in just a minute. Okay, so give me just a minute. If you can pull up your InDesign while we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and pull up my slides for this class. For some reason, my PowerPoint crashed. Not sure why it's giving me trouble. There we go. Okay. New share. Here we go. All right. So now we're talking about creating a menu. Now, I've given you some help during week 3, kind of showing you my demo for how the menu could be laid out pretty simply. I like white backgrounds. I'm not a fan of this reverse text that you see. One reason it's kind of hard on the eyes. Another reason is if you're not a professional, you don't know how to do it. It takes a lot of practice to do it in such a way that it doesn't hurt the eyes and that it's laid out in a very clean, orderly way. So if you want to be brave and use some reverse text, that's fine. Just make sure that you use it tastefully. I probably wouldn't recommend having a color background. I think I told some of you that who had solid color backgrounds for the inside pages of their assignment. Just make sure that I prefer keeping the background white. You can do a lot of cool things with the footer or border of the page or anything like that with your template, but I don't think you necessarily need full color to help you. Sometimes I feel like it's kind of a crutch. So it's kind of neat to see the challenge when you remove it. All right, so remember, you've got to package it to get full points. Just having an InDesign file is not going to be accepted, so you need to make sure that you've got this down. We talked about the reflection. This is not important. I'm not going to be grading you on registration marks, so this term. When you package a file correctly and you go to File, Package, this is the steps right here. I've shared this before in previous weeks, but I just want to make sure that everyone understands. To properly package a file, you go to your File drop-down menu right up here, go down, and there's a setting called Package. You click that, and that's going to bring up a dialog box, and that's going to give you all the info that you need to send to the printer, okay? It'll ask you, it'll tell you if you're missing images or fonts are missing, or if anything is not good, you'll have a warning sign right here in this section, middle section. But if it all looks good to go, just hit OK. All right, and then once you've reviewed this information, you click Package. This will take you to a printing instructions window. This is not necessarily important for this class, but if you were to send to a printer, this is where you'd put your name, your address, and your contact info, any special instructions if you were sending to the printer. In this case, you can just give it a name it the name of your file, so we're all organized, and then hit OK. This is the area where you'll choose a location on your computer to save a folder with all the InDesign file information and even the fonts and files that you used within the layout. So this navigates where you want the press ready folder saved. So you click Package. This will start the packaging process, okay? You give it a name, find out where you want to save it. I always tell students, if you're not very computer savvy, save it to your desktop so you know where it's going and you don't have to go searching for a random folder in the middle of nowhere. You kind of know where it's going to be. So once the computer has finished saving your file, just go ahead and navigate to where the folder is. So if you saved it on your desktop, go to your desktop. If you saved it in your school folder, go to your school folder. If you look in the folder, you'll see your file is with a separate folder. It's got separate fonts, separate links. You'll know that it's a package folder when it has other files in there. And it even creates a PDF for you. So that PDF saved in there. You don't have to worry about that. Saves you a step. And then you kind of just find where you saved it. Again, save it to your desktop. It's the easiest way to save it. It really doesn't get much easier than that. And there's also a website that I pulled these step-by-step instructions from. So I'm going to put it in this chat box here if you need it. feel free to visit it. I'll put it in there if you want to click on it and see if it works. It'll take you to all the step-by-step instructions, but these visuals should help you, and this is exactly how you package a file. Are there any questions about packaging files or zipping files? That's one thing that I haven't gone over is once you've packaged your folder, you're going to right-click on that folder and click compress. Select compress and it zips it for you instantly, so it's pretty easy. Okay, and so Erin says you packaged it the way that I've showed, but still have some problems with it. Okay, so Erin, if you don't mind, do you want to share your screen and we can troubleshoot real quick? Or if you prefer waiting till after class, that's totally fine. Whatever you're comfortable with. I think it would be good for students to, after class. Sure, no problem. We'll keep going. Let's see. Let's talk about the design examples. All right, so, whoa, too fast. Okay, so here are some design examples for your menu. You can get an idea of what you can do with your photos. In this case, they had a lot of photos that were cut out. Now, you're not really given that luxury with the photos that are provided. You do need to use the photos that were put in the folder for you. Not all of them are cut out, I think. So, and in fact, they look like this. So they're not cut out, but this is how I prefer to lay them out. Just very clean white border or white space around them. But this is an idea of, it gives you an idea of layout and design. Now, I wanted to talk about in terms of proximity, alignment, contrast, repetition. What do you see? What are elements of repetition? What are elements that can be considered repetitious in this menu? You see anything? Headers, okay. What about the headers, Amanda? The fact that they have them? What are they doing to their headers that creates repetition? Font weights, absolutely. The flames on each page, yep, absolutely. That's a good, that kind of creates motion and movement. We learned about that in the video. Styles, Same font family. You notice that it's all sans serif. I don't see any serif font in here. It's all sans serif. So that makes it very clean and uniform. Like Amanda said, the headers, they're all the same font family, same font size, same color. So remember, as you're doing your headers, you want to keep them all the same, right? Because we want there to be some uniformity to it. Okay, so that's repetition. What about contrast? What are some examples of contrast in this menu design? It is very hard to read, Erin. I'm with you. I'm not a fan of the reverse text when you're doing large amounts of text. I think it's fine if you're going to do like a pullout or maybe a price on a picture, but large amounts of text just doesn't work for me. Very hard to read, yeah. And there's elements of contrast in here though, because they did reverse text, meaning it's mostly white. Instead of doing all white, what are they using to create some emphasis on? What color are they using in addition to the orange? They are using the orange on red, which is hard to read, but it does help break up the sections. So like on the right-hand side, you've got meat, lovers, pizzas, and chicken on that left column. The orange kind of at least says this is a new section instead of the white text just running into each other. So in a way, it's kind of breaking it up. But yeah, it hurts my eyes too. So we won't dwell on this one too much longer. But the contrast also is the white text on the dark background. I tell my students all the time, avoid dark text on dark backgrounds. It just doesn't work. You need contrast. So if you are going to use a light background, you really want a dark font or vice versa. All right, so let's look at this one. What about proximity? What do you see in terms of proximity? What could be an example of proximity here? The text? Okay, Erin, can you expand a little bit more? What do you mean the text? What are they doing to create proximity? And same with you, Amanda. What about the bamboo? Yeah, it's not all of the page. Proximity means it's just kind of keeping things separate. It's kind of showing, okay, this is a new page. The bamboo is kind of used instead of the border. So it's showing, okay, this is a new page. This is a new section. We're on something else. So yeah. Yeah, and with Aaron said, your eyes go to one spot. That's right. The bamboo headlines here kind of show, okay, this is a new section. This is the soups. And your eye immediately goes to it because it stands out. Good job. Let's see, we did contrast, proximity. Okay, what about alignment? Let's do this example. What do you see in terms of alignment here? What are examples of alignment in this one? Any takers? So alignment, the first thing I noticed was this cover that they designed where they had the big photo and then they had these 3 little photos, different sizes, but they all align together. They create this rectangle, which is about 3/4 of the cover page, which is really cool. I think they did a great job aligning these photos together. And could also be an example of proximity as well. They have all the 3 little photos and the big photo all together, so it's kind of grouping them. Yeah, Menda said the text is lined up right. It's all left justified, isn't it? All the text, and it's lining up on this imaginary ruler. Everything lines up. You can tell the text boxes are lined perfectly. There's no indentations randomly. Everything is perfectly aligned. The menu numbers and the pricing, they're also aligned on that right column. So I think they've done a great job with their alignment. So this is what I'm going to be looking for. I don't want to see, I'll pull up this example again. I don't want to see this. Let me try to do a bad example. That's what we did in week 3, right? It was a little hard to do the bad example. I'll zoom in and I'll show you. So right now they all line up perfectly, but I don't want to see text boxes that are kind of off the grid. See how this doesn't line up? These 2 text boxes don't line up together right here. And or this even. Like when some of the text is indented, you want everything to line up. Or what about the prices? If this price was here, that price was there, this one's over here. Like they're not on the same column. Yeah, so we want to make sure that they're all aligned right, correctly. All right, so that's another example. Let's look at this one. So here's another menu design that you can see. This one is great in the fact that it deals with a very heavy text. It's a very text-heavy menu. But again, if you'll notice this clean white background. Now, they didn't go with stark white. They went with like a cream or a taupe, very earthy colors here. But again, that works for the logo. And it's really important that when you have a client in the graphic design industry, if a client is hiring you to design their menu, you can't veer too far from their colors that are already in their logo. I had a few students try to go a little crazy with the colors, and while I admire their creativity, if a client came to you and their colors are green, a red, white, and green, and then you try throwing in neon blue and yellow, it just doesn't go. So we need to make sure we stick with the same color palette, and we want to kind of do our best to pull colors from the logo. Okay, so that's kind of what they did here. Yeah, in this case, it doesn't too much. I don't know if it's the best way to go. I think it works because it's on panels. It's a smaller menu, but because they also break it up instead of long. I'm with you, Amanda, on that one. Because they've broken it up in 2 different center alignments, and then you've got the one big one. I think it breaks it up a little bit. They've kind of created little sections so it's not so mundane. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the centering align all the time, but I think that they did it tastefully and they're the professionals. So there you go. All right, so remember, just try to include these principles of design in your menu design. I was going to have you guys pull up an example. If you could go to Google real quick, go find a menu menu design, you can search under images, and I'll even show you a quick example. I just want you to share with me because I want to make sure that you understand. So we're going to go to Google here. Menu layout. You can even do ideas here. I'll go to images, and I want you to find a menu that stands out to you, and I want you to tell me why, okay? I want you to tell me, is it the alignment, is it the contrast of colors, or the contrast of fonts, or is it the pictures? I want you to tell me what stood out to you, and you can search by different kinds of menus up here. So just do a quick search. We'll spend maybe 2 or 3 minutes on it, not too long, and then we'll have you share your screen and tell me about the menu that you've chosen, okay? And once you have an example, go ahead and let me know, and we can go ahead and pull it up. Perfect, Erin. Okay, so I'll have you share your screen. You open it up and then just, and then Erin, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you so you can talk and just briefly tell me what it is about it that you like.
Oh, that I like. Okay.
I like this one already.
Can you hear me?
I can. Go for it.
Okay. I like the top right here. It stands out.
Mm-hmm.
It grabs your attention. There's not too much clutter, I guess. I think the one thing that they could have done better is the aligning of the prices.
I agree.
Put them all on, the right side right there. But I think they did a really good job. This over here is a little bit confusing.
It is. It is kind of nice. It breaks up the heavy columns of text, kind of saying, oh, here's a standout, here's a special. It kind of grabs your eye. But yeah, if they didn't explain it well or without a picture, it's kind of hard to, without knowing this place, it's kind of hard to figure out. But this is a great example of a white background and how they designed it. So they did something cool with their header that stands out and a little call out. So yeah, I love this example. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, so let's move on. Amanda, do you have one? It looks like Amanda's computer is looking a little slow. Amanda, once it's up and running, just let me know. I wanted to show you guys something that I found also. Here's an example of what not to do. So we will do this one. Okay, now this is a design that you'll often see done where a designer or a student might think, okay, I'm getting real creative. I'm going to just use a transparency over a picture. And while it's tempting because it adds a design element, and I say that with air quotes, I say that lightly because when you start putting text on top of this, on top of the pictures, it makes it really hard to read. It's really hard and it's confusing because you don't know which item is what, right? I don't know if this is the house salad or the chicken kofta salad or whatever it is that they're serving. So there's no clear definition of what an item is, and it just winds up looking jumbled in the end. Is there anything else that kind of turns you off about this menu? What not to do? Yeah, exactly. It's hard to read the text over the images. Another thing, I know it's kind of hard to see. I'll see if I can zoom in. I don't know if it'll let me. I'll just it won't let me zoom in, but there's a drop shadow on that white text. So not only do they have the transparency, the transparent photos behind it, they've got this weird orange background and then a drop shadow on their white text, which is a huge no, you don't do that. So no drop shadows on text. There's no need to do that for menu items. The font is too small to do that. It would make sense maybe if you had a larger headline that you're trying to emphasize, but I try to steer clear of drop shadows because they're just confusing and they're very hard to read. So yeah, no drop shadows on here. Luckily, I haven't really shown you guys how to do one, so you wouldn't be tempted to use it. It's not all bad. There's no clear definition of what item is what. This is very confusing. Also, we talked about hierarchy in design. So we talked about elemental hierarchy. Which elements are most important need to be bigger or smaller? The ones that are the most important need to be what? Larger, right. So think of an upside down pyramid. The base is the widest part. Okay, that's the biggest part. That's the most important. And then as you taper down, the less important information as you move down that pyramid gets smaller and smaller. So the size should be smaller and smaller. So in my opinion, they should have just done one really nice big photo for their cover. The smoothie photo is kind of cool, but it doesn't really show. I mean, is this a sushi place or is this a smoothie place? I don't really understand. They need to pick a photo that kind of either groups some element or menu items together or maybe explains a little bit more about what they serve. But here the phone number is bigger than the actual name of the restaurant. And so to me, that's a little confusing. And then the fax number below it is smaller than the actual address. And then it's just confusing. It just doesn't work. So there's no hierarchy at this menu. It seems like everything's kind of about the same size in terms of font. So as you're designing, I want you to think, what elements are most important? Well, I really want to show off my pictures. So what did I do here? Let me show you. So what did I do here? I wanted to show off my picture, so I made a big picture, right? And not only did I put the picture there, I also gave it a name. I need to give it a name. And in my description, Gino's salad dressing or whatever soups. Guess I haven't finished this layout, but I need to give it a name the photo, because you want to feature people tend to, I guess there's menu scientists out there, and studies have shown that pictured items get ordered more. And so you'll find out the menus will put pictures in their menus of some of the most expensive menu items, because they want to sell those higher priced menu items. And because they have pictures, they're more customers are more inclined to buy. I don't know about you, but if I'm more likely to order by a picture than a description. So if I see the picture and it looks appetizing, I'll order it. So that's kind of me. I'm just a visual person. So yeah, same with Erin. So anyways, my pictures are bigger. My headlines, my banners are bigger, kind of emphasizing a new section. And all the other information should be about much smaller. You want the big stuff to stand out first. Okay, so even in this, my menu title is the same size as all of my menu titles, but my price is much smaller. Some menus now even drop the $sign. I prefer the $sign. It looks a little bit more uniform. I doubt Gino's Pizzeria is a high class dining establishment, so we don't have to worry about dropping $signs. But in this case, everything's very uniform, and the bigger things that I want to show off are the larger items on my page. So, all right. Now, okay, and Amanda has an example. So let me go ahead and stop the share. Go ahead, Amanda. Let's take a look at what you found. And then Amanda, I will unmute you real quick so that you can talk. All right, so what did you find?
Okay, I found this, it's a basic takeout menu, but I thought the design was elegant. It's something that I would pick up. The layout is clean and simple. It's just a basic black and white design. The hierarchy was good on it. The layout was good. The alignment and spacing looks good to me. So it just had a basic, good overall flow.
Yeah, it's really interesting that you chose this because there are no pictures, but I feel like the designer did a good job. I think it's more challenging without color, and without pictures you kind of have to figure out a way to make something stand out or keep it clean and still interesting to look at. And so this was, I think this was very well done. You mentioned hierarchy. You've got that large headline, the name of the restaurant is the biggest part, and then the rest kind of falls into place. And these are very established columns, clear white space, very evenly laid out, and then the cover is very nicely designed as well. It kind of has a nice vector image there that kind of says what the restaurant's about. So
Mm-hmm.
good. Yeah, I like that. And again, it's a great example of a white background with dark text on it, which is kind of what I'm going for with this menu design. If it's our first go around, I think you should try to challenge yourself with the white background. But there's a lot, like even with this example that Amanda shared, that they did something really cool with the border. I mean, there's a lot you can do with the design still, and then still have a clean background to lay your text on it. So great job, Amanda. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me go ahead and mute you real quick. All right, so this might be a good place to take our break. When we come back, I'm going to show you guys how to design the rest of the menu. We started off designing our cover, so I'm not going to go over that so much. The tutorial is coming from a website now. I'll share the link with you girls so that you have it, and then I'll also post it in the announcements so that anyone who's watching can follow along step by step on how to lay this menu out. But I did the cover with you guys. It's a very simple cover. Again, we didn't need a whole lot of bells and whistles for this, but it does clearly lay out the ebb and flow of the rest of the template, and that's kind of what I'm going for. All right, and then inside we've laid out these inside pages. This is what I laid out so that this is my template, and then I'll adjust the columns how I need to fit the content. Now, if you want to go ahead and get started, or I'm not sure if you've had a chance to look at the assignment, go ahead and do that. There's a few things I'm going to be looking for specifically is the pages. I want to make sure that you are using master pages. I set up a master page just like this so that you could see how you could use it. And believe me, doing a 5-page layout is very time consuming, even when it's a template. So it's really important that you use master pages because I did this one time and then it copied for the rest of the 4 pages. So it actually was really a time saver. So if you can figure out how to implement the master page, put any elements on it, and then it will copy to all your other pages. And it's just a really cool way to lay something out very quickly. I'm going to be looking for page numbers, okay? I want to see the name of the restaurant at the bottom. I'm going to be looking for clearly defined columns, whether or not you're dividing it with a bar or you're doing something similar to Amanda's example in that menu. They didn't have a bar dividing the columns, but everything was evenly laid out and aligned very nicely so that it was clearly defined space. All right, I'm also going to be looking for, not headers, I guess, section titles. So am I in the appetizer section or am I in the entree section? Am I in the drink section? I want you to clearly lay that out, okay? And I want it all to be uniform. So all the sections should be the same font family, same font color, same font size. You get what I'm saying. I want it to be consistent. And then maybe pull out a feature. Do like a pull out of some sort. I mean, the menu we saw in Aaron's example kind of had a box around it. We were kind of boxing a section off. You could do something really cool that way. I'll show you what you could do. It's not gonna look any better than what we've seen. It will probably just be a box or a call out, but again, it's kind of a neat way to pull something out. Or you can put a name on the photo or just underneath it here, describing what this photo is. So we'll go ahead and take our break. When we come back, we'll start this tutorial, and then I'll probably talk to you a little bit about what we're going to do with our portfolio once we have this menu finished. So are there any questions before we take our break? Any questions you're dying to ask? All right. Whoops. All right. Well, you girls, we'll see you in 10 minutes. Stretch your legs. Go ahead and get InDesign up because we are going to be jumping right in when we get back. All right. Okay, so we're back. Let's jump into the design portion of this lesson. We'll go ahead and pull this up. All right. Okay, so actually, share InDesign here. So the tutorial that I'm taking this from, let me copy the link into the chat box for you. And I'll post it on the announcements. I pulled this tutorial because I thought that it was really well explained. So for students who aren't more audible learners, they can see the visual step, or they could read the step-by-step instructions and try to design it from there. So this has been explained. I went over how to do the cover, and the reason why we're doing menu design is because menus play a huge part in shaping a restaurant's overall experience and I would say for better or for worse. We're aiming for the former, but whether you're creating a menu for a restaurant or a cafe or a pop-up, or just maybe simply looking for a way to wow friends and family on a special dinner party, you can easily liven up the table with this simple to create and trendy summer menu card. And this is the actual templates that we designed last week. If you have questions of how to set it up, go ahead and watch the week 3 tutorial. I do want to point out that there are some elements on my master page that are seen on all the other inside pages. And the way that you see that is if you go to your drop-down menu, your window drop-down menu, and click on pages, it'll fill up your pages dialog box. If you click on the A master, double click on it, this is where you can place all your master items and it will appear on all your inside pages. First thing you'll want to do is make sure you have a page number, okay? You're going to want to have some kind of color or border that you can apply to all the pages. And using a master page will ensure that it's put in the exact same place on every page without deviating from consistency. And so we want to make sure we have everything aligned properly, only placing it once, and it's guaranteed to show up on your other inside pages just like this. If you need to override a master item, just right click on the page. So say page 3 is the page I want to design, but I need to move these columns and I can't because they're locked because they're on the master page. Just right click, override all master page items. And this will allow me to make any edits now to it. Now I can delete this if I want, or now I can move it over here if I want, or maybe add some other stuff, or maybe take off the screen border if I really wanted to. I'm not quite sure why, but the one thing you probably would need to do is maybe, I can't see you needing to make any adjustments to this because your columns are going to stay the same. But if you needed to, just override all master page items. So that should help you. We have to be using InDesign for this. I know some of you really feel comfortable with Illustrator or Photoshop, but you won't need to download any images or graphics for this assignment. The only thing that you have to pull down is the images that were given to you in that zip folder and the text document that was provided to you. The menu designs are really based around strong, striking typography. We're really trying to, kind of go with this logo, create something fresh and very trending. And so that's where this tutorial will take you. So we're going to go through the inside page and show you how to line it up. Now, I've already designed the template. So now what do we do when we have the template? Well, now I've got to grab the text from my from the text document that they've given me, and I'll do soup and salads first. Now, the font that I'm using for the banner right here, this font is Adhesive NR7, and this font is given to you in that link that I just provided to you. So if you want to go download it, it's a free font. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create consistency by having a banner on all of my underneath all of my sections, menu sections. But I can choose to change up the banner if I want, and I can do that by going to Type and Glyphs, and then there's all these banners to choose from. So I can do something. Let's see, it disappeared. Let's try it again. So I can do something like this. or I can do the traditional one. I'm just going to stick with this one because it's pretty consistent. But as you can see, there's all different kinds of banners that you can use. So I'm gonna use this. And the way that I'm gonna feature my pictures, now I'm talking about salads, so I'm gonna go see if there's a salad picture in my downloads folder. And sure enough, there is. So I'm gonna drag that right in. I'm gonna come down here. And I'm just going to have it behind this banner. Now I'm going to try to maintain consistency by keeping my photos the same size. I'm going to right click on this and in the same place always. And it's usually going to be, now depending on how many how much space you have on a page will determine how big your photo is going to actually be. Let's see what I did on this page. Looks like I put one of the banners on top. I'm going to change it to the green that we've been using in the menu. Grab this green here. Whoops. Highlight it. Or let me go to my swatches. Go to color, swatches. There we go. And by going to my master, I'm going to add this green swatch that I'm using. I'm going to select it here. It's in my swatches panel right here. I'm going to click on new, and it will add it right down here for me. So now that when I'm trying to grab that green, it will let me use that swatch that's already been preset for me. So I'm going to do this banner here. I'm going to kind of hover it using my left and right arrow keys. Just position it where I think it needs to be, where it looks centered with the photo. And I'm going to move it up here in line. Now there's a few things I want to show you. If you grab your ruler here at the top, it will let you line up everything. So this is in line with the top of my column. There's also an even amount of space between, let me grab my pencil tool. There's an even amount of space between my border and my photo on the top, on the left, and on the right, and then below it should be no different. It should be the same amount of space before I put any text on it, okay? So do you see that? We want to make sure that the spacing is even on all four sides. All right, now that I have my banner, I'm going to grab my type tool. I'm going to click type, and I'm going to type in salads. And I forget what font I'm using. Let's see. I think I just used a standard serif font, so I'll just use Minion Pro, seems to work. And I want a nice, do a caps, all caps on this one. This will be a good contrasting font with that cursive font I used for my cover, because you don't want to use fancy fonts for your text-heavy pages. I'm going to do salads, and I'm going to do a white font for my section. All right, now I'll grab that. And again, I kind of want to make sure it's all aligned right where I need it to be. I don't want to cover up the picture too much. I just want to be able to see my banner stand out. So there's my salads. And then underneath it, I placed a text box with just some small descriptive text. I don't know if you've ever worked in newspapers. They usually had a picture and then they would have a small caption underneath the picture. That's kind of what we're doing here. Same concept. So that's what I'll do. Go over here, grab a type. My type tool, and then I can give it a description. Now I think the description's already been given, luckily. There it is. And I'm going to change it to Arial. The sans serif font will be a good contrast with my serif font here. And again, I want it really small. It doesn't need to be big. And then I'm going to make it gray. I'm going to adjust the tint here on my swatches. Do about 75% gray. Could even stand to make that even smaller. Let's see what 8-point font does. Okay. Now that I have that, I can start formatting my actual text columns. Again, I'm on this imaginary column here. And here's where I'll put all of the, now what I'm going to do is import each menu item individually. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I want to format them. I might format them differently. Or you could post them all in there. I'm just kind of giving a return on all of these. Let's see. And then I'll expand my text box. Now, having just copied and pasted all that, now I'm wondering how are we going to format it? So this is where your paragraph styles are going to come into play. So go to Window, click on Styles, Paragraph Styles. And as you can see, I've already created some styles. What you're going to do is you're going to go to New, click on New. You'll give it a name. So double clicking on it, this will be body text. And then, or menu items, you could just body copy, whatever you want to call it. And then go to basic character formats. Here's where you're going to pick the font. I want Minion Pro. I want the font to be 9. I think that's good. You can go to advanced character formatting, bullets and numbering if you wanted to do that. But I just need some basic character formatting. I'll hit OK. So now, if I want to use that paragraph style, I just click on body copy, and it already formats it for me. So that's really nice. I've created one here. Whoops. This is the, I think the, whoops, the menu item. Let's try this. There we go. This is my menu item. And oops, I'm going to just kind of tab this over. So by using my preset paragraph style, keep forgetting which one's which. I think it's this one. Oops, no. There we go. This is allowing me, it saves me so much time from having to keep changing the font families, all right? Another thing that I've noticed that you're gonna probably need to turn off are these, I'll zoom in really close, are these little danglers. These are called hyphens. You'll find it under your paragraph settings, right here, hyphenate. There's a checkbox. If you don't see that checkbox, just go to Window and click on Type in Tables, go to Character, and then, let's see, is it on this one? Or it might be under Paragraph. Type in Tables, Paragraph, hyphenate. There you go, there's that box. So by deselecting that box, it now will just do a natural wraparound. It won't break up hard. It will do kind of hard return when it needs to, and it doesn't have these danglers. Now you're gonna have to do that to all the whole paragraph. So I'm gonna just highlight everything and make sure that that box is deselected. Okay, and last one. All right. So now it's slowly coming together. I guess that's homemade soup. I don't know if that goes in the soup section, but anyways, this is my salad section. So I've got it already formatted. Now, how am I going to break up sections? Well, I can take my divider here and do this. I'm just going to copy this little border. I drew that and just basically did the same thing as I did with my my divider for my middle column. I just copied it, made it smaller, or you can redraw it. This will allow me to format my paragraphs. Now, to break up the I'm going to close all these boxes so that you can see. To break up all of my my heavy text, that it can kind of get overwhelming when you have large columns. Another way that you can lay out the font is to do it this way, a double column within your column. This is a cool way of laying something out. And I recommend you just choose either or. You can kind of, I guess you could kind of just kind of sporadically do them to change it up a little bit. On each page you could do something different. But again, this is a good way to kind of break up text. So it doesn't look like, it looks a little bit more professional when you kind of change up the alignment a little bit. So there's that. If I wanted to change my font, again, I'd go to my window, styles, paragraph styles, and click on, I think it's paragraph style 1. This is my pricing. If I wanted to make my pricing smaller, my headline a little smaller, I could, but I like keeping it pretty uniform, keeping it the same. Another thing that I did to create contrast is I did a gray text. I did gray text here on this menu item. And I also did black for the, to make the actual menu item stand out. So if I wanted to create contrast, let me cancel. Send this to back. Okay. If I wanted to create some contrast between my menu item and the text, the description of the menu item, I could change it to gray. I don't want to do too light of a gray because then it would be hard to read. But under color and swatches, this is where I could change my tint. And 75 is a good gray. It's usually prints really well. And that just creates kind of it lightens up the page a little bit so it's not so black and text heavy. Kind of like, it's kind of a way to cheat. You're kind of lightening up the page a little bit without making it feel so heavy. So by changing that to gray, and then that's another setting that you can do in your paragraph style. So if you go to Window, Styles, Paragraph, in my body copy, I've now changed, let's see if I can find it, character color. All right, so then I changed it to black, and then I'm going to do 75%. So now, not only have I a preset for my font size, font family, font weight, but now I already have a preset for my font color as well. So now when I click on something like this, I'll show you. So say I wanted to change this to gray, I would just click on my body copy and now it's gray. So it's really nice that it just does it all for you. So this should be a huge time saver for you. So that's how we would do the first column. The next column we would do, I'm gonna hide that. Okay, next one we're gonna do is, let's see, sandwiches. I guess that would be the next one. Let's do sandwiches. And on this page, it shows you different ways you can lay out the header. You can do a small one, you do a slant one. That one's a little more tricky because you have to get the angle just right on the section text and also on the banner. But with this one, I'm just going to copy over my banner. And I'm going to paste it. We'll do it up here at the top. Okay, and this one's going to become this will be sandwiches. Now, not everything's going to be the same font if some words are a little longer and others are a little shorter, but just kind of eyeball it as best you can. the banners are the same size, so this will still help create uniformity and consistency. So now with this, this banner here, I can choose to alternate colors of the banner if I wanted to. I don't know what that's going to do. We can try it. Kind of break it up a little bit. And then here's where I'm going to place my, my sandwich photo. But since I already have one here, I'm just going to pull it in. So what you could do is once you've got your photo where you need it to be, kind of line it up so everything lines up. All right, so there's sandwiches. This one's kind of hard to see the whole, it's not a very good photo. But you get the idea. I'm wondering if there's like a way to, you could probably maybe hide it underneath the banner. I don't know if I like that. I like consistency more. I could probably make the sandwich photo taller. There we go. So you see more of it. Just like that. There we go. And then what you can do, I'm going to delete this border for a minute. It's messing me up. Is you can just copy these boxes over by holding down Alt-Option. You can kind of just copy these boxes over. Now you have everything placed, same font, same everything, or you can use your paragraph styles. I'm just going to grab the sandwiches text and put that underneath this photo. There we go. And then the sandwiches menu items, I'm going to throw in here. And I'm going to highlight all of this, and I'm going to grab my paragraph styles again. And here's where paragraph styles are going to come in handy because, or I guess it was already up, is because this way you don't have to format every paragraph that you're putting in here. Whoops. There we go. I'm going to hit enter. And then start doing the, believe me, this is so much faster than using the eyedropper tool or doing this manually. And then I just tab over the prices. Okay. So again, this is how you can do the sandwiches. This kind of was a happy coincidence that everything ended up at the same place. So there's my sandwiches. Again, another way that you could lay it out is like this. You could do the double column, make it a much smaller font. Remember this cool little font that we strict the Davies font? You can use do a little call out. So I'm just gonna put that here. I'll show you how to do a quick call out on this. Are there any questions so far? I know I'm kind of moving a little fast. No questions. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. All right, so here's how you can do a call out. I'm going to go ahead and grab, well, there's two ways you can do it. I'll grab my type tool. I can do this and then increase the font. I'm just stretching it to create a little box. And this is going to be my call out. And I want these things to line up really nicely. Again, I want my color to be that nice green so it stands out. I'm going to grab my type tool. I'm going to type away from it because if I try to draw a box over it, it's already a type box, so it will think that, yeah, I want to type inside of it. This is where I'll do my call out for any specials. let's see, what kind of special can I do? Here's where you could improvise. Let's do this one. Okay, and then I'm going to use the font. Let's see, do I have a... I'll just use one of my preset ones. Put it in here. Make the font a little bit bigger so you can read it. By switching up my alignment a little bit, now I'm going to kind of center this. It will break up the long paragraphs of left justified text and add some more contrast. And that's, after all, what I want to go for. And I'm going to do... Let's justify this one. I'm going to make this font a little bit smaller. How to figure out how I'm going to format this. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, and then I'm going to go grab the Davies font. And I'm going to go to my glyphs. Right there. And I'm going to change the color to that green. This is my call out. So the call out should look a lot different than everything else. It should be contrasted in color, in size, in design. Okay, and then here's where I'll do the price. I'm kind of improvising this part since we needed a call out. And I'm going to do a really light font. I love the look of light fonts. Okay, and then I'm going to shrink this up a little bit. I guess I could also center it. That might help with layout a little bit. I want to center everything within here. You just want something, the call out is to just grab attention. So that can be your, and then you can copy this whole thing, group it, and then copy it, and then you can paste it at another point on a different page. Each section could have its own little special or call out. This just is a graphic element that creates interest, and it will be an attention grabber so that if this was a real menu, we would definitely want to increase sales this way. And so this would be one way that we would do it. So once you design one, you'll pretty much have just kind of copy it, hit Command G or Control G to group it. And that will group everything. And then you can go in and put in the rest of your menu items. All right, and any questions about this? All right, so I guess that kind of concludes the actual menu design. This kind of shows you if the rest is pretty much the same, just putting in your soups and your appetizers, and you were given text. So just try your best, try to come up with what you can. I recommend on the menu titles the menu titles, probably no more than 12 point, same with the prices. And then probably no smaller than 8 point on the little captions. I think the font choice here is 9 point font for the body. You can go 8 or 9 on the body. Just use what, figure out what works with your space and your layout. But once you've done that, then you pretty much have a good page layout, and they can look different. I mean, I've done it 2 different ways here. So just kind of play around with what works for you, okay? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end there. I wanted to show you, we've been working on all these awesome assignments. I mean, you've created menus and newsletters and ad designs, and now we need to focus on how to show all those pieces off. And so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about portfolios. Do you guys have a portfolio set up, ready to go? Not yet? Okay, well, I wanted to talk a little bit about it because as you're going through these beginner classes, even though they're beginner classes, you're doing assignments and you really want to be able to keep track of all of your work. So let me pull this up so I can show you. Oh, before I do that though, well, I'll go ahead and we'll move forward. So can you see this screen? I'm going to move this chat box over. Okay, so this is a link called freeonlineportfolios.com, and I'll send it to you if you guys want to keep it, kind of save it as your favorites in your yeah, and Amanda says anyone using Adobe CC has Behance. Yeah, and in fact, I have Behance is used by the school. It is free. One thing with Behance is that it's mainly community focused. The creative professional platform is kind of what we refer to it. I do not know what to do with this chat box. I'm going to kind of throw it up there in the background. So yeah, a lot of professional designers will use Behance. It's a great way to feature your work. I actually use a different one. I haven't jumped on the Behance bandwagon yet, but they're all good. I use Carbon Made. It's kind of a little bit more old school, but I just haven't had time to switch it over. But I first used Carbon Made, and I really liked it. And we'll talk about a little bit about what each one does. But Behance is used by the school. It's encouraged by the school, and it kind of creates this creative professional platform. It also offers a professional and presentable portfolio. It is by invite only, and by that you can just kind of sign up. You can visit the site. And what's cool about this website is you can go and visit these websites, and they'll show you, kind of step you through other portfolios that are there. So it's kind of cool. Lots of different artists, different walks of life. You can post a job if you're an employer, or you can look at their job board, which is kind of cool. Creative jobs. So this is why the school loves it so much, is because you can look for any creative, creative career type of job, anything in your industry. If you're a writer, if you're a graphic designer, a web designer, whatever it is that you're seeking out here in school, they have a job board, and you can look up the job. So for this production designer, just kind of click on it. See if it'll let you. Yeah, it gives you the description. You can choose to follow this employer, and then you can apply here at this link. So it's kind of neat if you're looking for jobs in your field, this is a great place to do it. So that's why they also promote it. And then let's look at this other one. Carbon Made is what I use. I was going to show some of my work years ago. Well, not years ago. I still do it, I guess. Let's see. Actually, let me Google it. See if it'll pull it up. There's one of them. Let's see if this is the. Yeah, this one was I did when I was a few years ago. This is just a ton of work that I've done, and this is all like magazines I've worked for, lots of different health publications. These are different magazine layouts, but it's kind of cool. The pros and cons about Carbon Made is that because it's free, it only allows you to upload 5 images at a time under a certain category. So you're limited to your uploads unless you want to pay for the upgrades. Let's see, why is this taking forever to load? Internet's going slow. So what I did, I kind of cheated. I just created a collage of my work and then I posted it. So I was able to get a few more layouts on each upload. So I kind of cheated in that way. So I just did a collage of just smaller layouts instead of one big layout. And so you can kind of do that to kind of get around the free thing. So here's just some fun inside layouts that we've done, lots of ad designs. We did some ad campaigns for a lot of products. So anyways, this was a lot of fun. And then you can kind of talk about your work down here. But it just seems like nowadays, gone are the days, I feel like, where you need a hard copy portfolio. And the thing with hard copy portfolios is they're expensive. I mean, they're expensive to print. I mean, maybe not expensive for the first one, but if you're handing them out or you're printing one for yourself and you want a nice one, they're between $12, $20, just depending on how many pages you have. But if you're handing one out every time you're applying for a job, it just gets kind of ridiculous. Besides, no one keeps them anyway. So nowadays, you'll find that when you're applying for a job, it says post a link to your portfolio. So they just want the link. They don't care if you have a hard copy. So I've had to actually revise a lot of my week 4 presentations when we were talking about hard copy design portfolios because I feel like those are kind of phased out. Another thing we used to talk about was putting your work on a CD-ROM. That again, that's not even in this generation anymore. People just want to see the websites. They want to see that you have a website, and it doesn't mean that you have to design it yourself. You can use this template. And again, in the actual link to this portfolio is my name. My name is on it, and then I'm using Carbon Made as kind of I'm kind of piggybacking off of them. So yeah, and even the CDs, jump drives are out of date because nowadays you're applying, maybe if you're applying out of state or out of town, there's no way that you can get them. What are you going to do? Snail mail them a thumb drive? It's just going to get lost in the mix, especially now. I guess jobs or employers are looking for students or interns or even entry-level designers who already kind of have a little bit of tech savviness to them, and so they want to know that if you've got a link or a website or something, then they'll be like, okay, this person's got it together. They not only know their way around the software, but they also know their way around, they kind of have some tech savviness to them. So that's what they're looking for. It almost seems like there's this merge. They want kind of a little bit of both, a little bit of web design, a little bit of print design with it. So this is kind of a good way to show off your work. So yeah, you do definitely need a web presence. And so anyways, there's lots of things that you can do, lots of companies. I like to show off like the different kind of companies. So maybe you're a student, you're just starting off, you don't necessarily work for clients. What you can do is show a wide variety of your work. So like this was a web design that I did, but then also I'm showing print design, print ad works. I design like van wraps, things like that. So you want to be able to show that you're very versatile. You can do a little bit of everything. Okay. And so that's yeah, they want you to be able to do a lot of different things. You want to show versatility in your layouts. One other thing I wanted to show was, it's not on this one. Let me see if I can go back to Google. I had to Google myself. Let's see. I have one other one. I think it's, No. Go back. I don't think it'll pull up my other one. That's okay. I can't even remember what it is. I hardly use it anymore. But that just gives you an idea of how you can set up your portfolio. So again, CarbonMate's free. It's dirt easy to use. That's what they say. What's cool about this is it's just simple, clean portfolio template. There's no bells and whistles to it, but they're really fun and in the way that they communicate. And so CarbonMate also has a huge share of the market. A lot of portfolios, a lot of designers are on here, and it's growing. So you're not limited to just Behance. There's other free ones out there. It is free, but like I said, you can choose to pay for extra features or for more space, for more ability to upload more of your portfolio. So you can check that one out. Also, there's one called Cargo Collective. And this one also is by invite only, and cargocollective.com kind of hosts your projects in a variety of templates. So if you click on it, it kind of gives you alternatives to the standard automated portfolio. And the templates are also really highly customizable, so you can kind of see how there's a wide range here. Lots of artists will be on here, not so much graphic designers, but again, it just depends on how you like the layout. If you want to see a sample portfolio, they also have an example of portfolios here. Here's just someone posting their work. That's kind of neat to see. Deviant portfolio. So if you're one of the many Deviant users, you know that you have the option to present your material in a portfolio. They call it the awesome version. Another generic yet functional and customizable portfolio. So again, it just depends on how you prefer to lay out your work. And then you can look at a sample portfolio by clicking on their links. Here's a guy who does some design. It's got artist bio, typography. This is a graphic designer who does some cool typography. And then print design kind of shows off his work. Really cool layout. I think this is really clean. I'm a fan of Deviant. I think this is really a nice way to lay out your stuff. Again, most of these are going to be free. You don't have to pay for them. And it makes sense as a student because you're just kind of starting out with your projects right now. And you don't need to pay for lots of space, lots of uploads, because you might just be starting out and you might not have a whole lot of portfolio-worthy projects that you want to upload yet. So when you become a seasoned designer, then maybe it might make sense to pay. But yeah, and Amanda says she uses LinkedIn for networking and DeviantArt to show and sell work. So yeah, DeviantArt is actually a great website. I've been meaning to kind of merge on a few others. So this one's really cool. Let's look here. Folio HD is another one. This one might seem a little bit more for the photographer, but it's actually minimal content, minimal clutter. That's kind of their theme here. Generic but functional, and it's a portfolio template site. So again, it's going to have an easy interface. It'll be easy to use, user-friendly. It's seemingly geared towards photographers, but again, it suits any creative. It just depends on how you want to display. But this is more of a photography type, I guess, portfolio template. Yeah, and so if you're into photography and graphic design, there you go. Then you've got best of both worlds. Host My Portfolio. It's got limited color palettes, so that's kind of the drawback, I think, in my version. I think that if you are a graphic designer, you want something that's colorful and fun to look at and engaging, and without color, it kind of seems boring and dull. But you might be a minimalist who doesn't care for color and the color palette doesn't affect you or bother you. So it does have some neat features, including the ability to edit your site in your portfolio view rather than through a dashboard. Again, if you're I guess it doesn't have an example up. If you're if you're tech savvy and you kind of know web design a little bit, that might matter to you. Here's a cool one, Jobberry. This one is, this company has a great color palette. Nice subtleties within the design, and it offers a really clean, simple template. The template houses your portfolio and your resume, and it also has a job board again. So this is a really cool way if you want to sign up and kind of keep up with what's going on in the graphic design industry, see who's hiring, what jobs are hiring, and what their expectations are. If you're looking for a job, this is a great way to go, and it's all free, so that's nice. And I was just reading Aaron's comment. So you're a photographer too, Aaron? I think that's a great way to show, that would definitely show versatility. So you're also a photographer, you've got some graphic design. So you're kind of, I mean, that would be cool to show that you don't just have one creative talent. You can do a lot of different other things. So yeah, and it looks like Amanda is too. So again, it might be good to kind of have several different portfolios for different types of work that you do, or maybe find one that kind of merges the two and kind of marries them really well. This one's called Crop. I'm going to see if this one has a sample example. Yeah, so this one will kind of showcase, kind of weird. It looks again like photography, but although it's heavily branded, their seemingly Apple-inspired templates are easy to navigate, so a lot of people kind of gravitate towards that. It's also integrated into the site's primary tools. They have job boards again. So if anything, it might just be cool to sign up for one of these. You might not necessarily have a lot of projects that would make up an entire portfolio. But again, if you just get on the job boards and search, this is a great way to kind of find a job, or maybe start applying it, or find out what they're looking for, what other employers are looking for in projects that are out there. You can kind of also peruse other designers and see what, how you stack up against them. Shoned is another free one. This one it allows for uploads. Oh, again, this doesn't have a sample one. This allows for uploads of Flash, video, music, imagery, all of those kind of housed in a generic format, but very functional portfolio template. So again, if you have other talents and skills that you want to show off, like I not only graphic design, but I'm a web designer and I can do Flash and other videos. I'm a video editor, or I like to do music on the side. This is a really cool way to kind of show it off. Yeah, and there's lots of different ways to network. In this case, this is just getting your portfolio ready so you can network. You can also, I think it's just good to kind of save your work. And again, I put so much emphasis on perfecting your assignments. Been working with some students, allowing them to kind of get their assignments perfected so that they have the ability to put it up and show it off and be able to have this portfolio worthy, so that when they are applying for a job, they can be like, yeah, I do menu design, here it is. And here's a 4 or 5 page document showing exactly, kind of showcasing my work. And so that's why it's so important with that. The last one here is WeFolio. This one's nice. It's simply almost blog-like design. So again, if you get into that blog environment, if you like that, ability to integrate shop, themes, and generally very simple overall. So the character of its creators seems to kind of shine through the design. If you wanted to, again, there's no sample, but I'll visit the site so you can see it. Well, no, I'll have to go do a Google for it. But yeah, this is really, really cool. Cool way to kind of showcase your work. So, so I signed into Carbon-Made. I kind of showed you my work. It's just important to be able to showcase your work as well. So I really want to see, you guys try to come up with a portfolio. Again, there's no excuse, because a lot of times it's like, well, it costs, it costs a lot. This is all free. And what's more is that if you have a portfolio up there, you can apply for jobs, and then your job is already a link to your portfolio, or your job application is already linked to the portfolio on the site that you're on. So that's really cool too. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you, let you guys know that those are options. If you're just getting started, or if you already have some, this is just kind of up and coming, whatever. Lots of designers are on these sites. And again, there's not just one that fits all. It just depends on what suits you, and the look and feel that you're going for, and maybe the job or the industry that you're looking to apply. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so with that, I just wanted to find out if there are any questions about portfolio, setting up a portfolio. You guys are welcome to take some time and look at these links. That pretty much concludes our slides for how to have a successful portfolio. A lot of these will step you through how to set up templates. You can pick out your own color scheme. So try to experiment and play around with them. Okay, no questions? Okay, and Erin, I think you're seeing me after class, right? All right, well, I hope you guys learned something today. Thank you for listening. As always, these live sessions are recorded, and this one will be, and it'll be posted so you can go back and review anything that you might have missed. Good luck in your future job interviews. and with finding your dream job and especially your career. So I appreciate all of your participation this mod. I know it's been hard with spring break and with holiday Easter. It's kind of hard to stay focused, but you guys have done so great. And throughout the course, really, you should be proud of yourself. So thank you for keeping up with the work. Now, you all have been just absolutely wonderful to teach, so I really want to hear your comments and your reflections in the week 4 reflection this week. And also, when you do take that little quiz, that week 4 quiz, make sure that you're honest about the responses and kind of give as much detail as you can. So I can tell that you guys are improving already. I really appreciate the resubmissions and the ability to be able to perfect your work. I think that's really important. So you guys are extremely talented, and you've really progressed in such little time. And even those of you who have been experienced, I think it's been fun having you in class and helping me teach. So be proud of your work. Try to showcase it the best that you can in this final project. So remember, this menu is not just for me to look at. It's for your portfolio and for you to show off when you get a job. So remember, if you save any trouble, or if you have any trouble, you can contact me. I'm happy to help where I can. You can reach me by email. Please use this recording to help you step through the final project. And remember to check the announcements on the course homepage. I'll be posting the link to this portfolios, also this free portfolio site, and then also the link to the step-by-step final project tutorial that we're going to go through. So you're not going to want to miss it. Stay up to date on the announcements, and then yeah, just what we did today in InDesign. So you guys are welcome to go. And then Erin, you're welcome to ask any questions that you want. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to stop the share here. And then, Erin, I'm going to unmute you. Did you need to share anything?
I just want to go over the paragraph styles because I went to the Success Center and tried to get them to help me with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
They couldn't figure out why it wasn't accepting my styles that I was putting in.
Okay, so let's take a look. We'll see if we can figure something out. Do you want to share your screen?
Sure.
Perfect.
Let me see. Let me get rid of my chat window here.
Okay.
Which one was this? Oh, that's my menu.
Looks good so far. Nice template.
Thank you. I'm thinking about taking off the top border though, so I can put the name and stuff up there.
Yeah, you can even flip it and put it on the bottom if you want. It's a nice touch.
I have one on the bottom also.
Oh, there you go. Oh, okay. Cool.
I think it's a little too much, and I think my little box right here is a little too big, but
Yeah.
widen it a little bit and shorten it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that would look good. All right. So go ahead and pull up your paragraph styles, if you will, the dialog box.
On here? Okay, I can.
Yeah.
Paragraph styles. I don't have any for this yet.
That's okay. We'll create one. We'll see if we can get it to work.
Like my newsletter, you said there was something wrong with it, but we can go over that in the session tomorrow.
Yeah. Bring your questions and just have your feedback up tomorrow, and we'll knock it out really quickly. It's nothing that you can't do. It's an easy fix. So
I know one of my problems on the newsletter is you're using the bold condensed, and for some reason I can't find that one.
No, it's okay. We'll find something. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, if you come tomorrow, it'll be a great way to just get those extra points that way back up. That way you don't lose them.
Yeah, and I'm having a hard time with my CD.
Oh, the insert. Yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah, we'll work together on it. We'll make sure you knock it out tomorrow. 2 hours should be plenty.
I hope so.
Yeah. Have you started it yet at all?
I have.
Okay. So yeah. Oh, there you go. So you've got some.
I got to change the coloring, I think, on the letters. I did have one question that might help me get it done a little bit quicker.
Mm-hmm.
How do I take it from a PDF and bring it like a template?
Yeah. Okay. So this one's a little tricky because there is a way to do it. You could pull it up in Photoshop and just save each one, or you can do a screenshot of it and then pull it in. Yeah, I think a screenshot would be good, or you can pull it into Photoshop and save each page as a PDF. I can show you how to do that, or you can try to eyeball it and
That's what I was doing with this, is trying to eyeball.
And that even looks great like that. So, I mean, so far so good. It
Okay.
just depends on where you want to spend your time. If you want to pull in the templates, or if you want to try to eyeball it, that works too. I don't think it'll be that difficult if you just want to eyeball it. And once you get your master pages set up, it should be pretty simple. So,
I don't think I have a master page on this one.
well, I'll help you set it up. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you got it. There.
That's
So you've already got the background laid out, and it's just a matter of placing the text. So,
Yeah, that's what I'm working on. And I know I said it would be in before class, and I'm sorry that it's not.
no, just bring it tomorrow. We'll work on it. We'll get you a grade tomorrow.
Okay. Then I guess all my questions can be answered tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. Let's do the paragraph setting real quick,
Okay.
and then you can come tomorrow. We can that way.
Yeah,
If you want to work on it tonight, you can. You already have a head
we'll
start.
do it on the menu.
Okay.
Let's see. There's one paragraph, and I know I go over here to basic.
Yeah. Why don't you hit cancel? Hit cancel real quick, and we're gonna just do a new one. Let's just do a new one. So click that little icon, that dog-eared page, and then double click on that paragraph style one. So we'll start there. You can give it a name, whatever you want to start with.
Let's do body text.
Okay, perfect. And then under basic character formats on your left, it's second one down. You'll just set it however you want it to look. So if this is your body text, you probably want to stick with maybe like 8 or 9 font.
We'll do 8.
8 font, okay, yeah.
Change it, right?
Yeah, that might be good. It's just kind of hard to tell once you've laid out how it'll look. You can always change it later. And then you want to do color. Did you want to change the color of the body text to gray or anything, or are you just going to keep it black?
I don't know. I kind of like the gray that you showed in class.
Okay, you can change it. Just go down to character color on the left column. It's like the 5th one from the bottom. Yeah, there you go. And then you can change the tint. If you change the tint of your black, tint is different than opacity. Opacity will make the color transparent as you go down. Tint just lightens the color.
70.
Yeah, there you go. So then hit OK. And now if you grab a type tool, just draw it. You can either bring in text or just do filler text. We just want to see if it's going to.
Let's see. Go to type. Go down here and fill it. Ooh.
Okay, so then it looks like it already formatted it for you. So it's working now. And now you'll just need to go. I think maybe what you were doing was trying to change that basic paragraph one at the top, and you just needed to create a new one.
I had several that were created, but like on my drop caps for the newsletter, I would go to do the drop cap, and then it would change everything to big, like the drop cap.
Okay, so with that, if you're trying to do multiple formatting within one text box, it's probably not the best way to probably not the best idea to use a paragraph style. Like if you're doing drop caps and bullets, it will kind of, unless you can set it to be a certain way. We'll look at it tomorrow and I can help you figure it out. But if the menu design, this should probably be a quick fix. So it's allowing you to do body text. Now you can do like menu. You can do your headers, you can do menu items, and then prices or whatever you want to format. You don't have to use paragraph styles. Maybe 1 or 2 is going to get you a grade. That's fine. I recommend using them because they're just faster. But
yeah, if I could have gotten mine to work on the newsletter, it would have been a lot faster for me.
that's.
And then I was having a hard time getting the text lined up and.
Right. Well, I appreciate your hard work. I know you've been going to see the Student Success Center. They email me every time you come, so I'm glad that you've been using it and that you know how to use it. Hopefully they're being helpful. But if you bring it tomorrow, we'll work on it. We'll just kind of fine tune it, and we'll get you your grade, and that way you can focus on your final this week. So.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get my CD turned in.
Okay.
And I guess whatever grade I get on it is what I get on it.
If you go to Photoshop, I'll show you how to do it. Are you familiar with Photoshop at all?
A little bit.
Okay, yeah, it's not, you don't have to do much, but if you open Photoshop and if you have the example on your computer, you'll just go to File, Open, and then find that file, and it will ask you what pages you want to import.
I don't think I do have it on. I know I have it right
Do you have
here.
the example downloaded at all?
It's right there.
Perfect. So it's
Okay.
okay. So yeah, go to File on your, click on Photoshop. If you want to pull in the pages, this is how you would do it. So, or you can do a screenshot if you know how to take a quick screenshot. You can just go to File, Open, or click out, X out of this one, red X. There you go. Go to File, and then go to Open. And then you'll find where you saved it at, if it's in your Downloads folder or if you saved it in your school folder.
It's in
your desktop. Yeah, I put everything on my desktop too, just so I could find it.
week 3, I think it was. Wasn't it week 3?
Week 2, I think. Oh, week 3, you're right.
Some of them it's not letting me open.
Just open your folders, or is it in one of your folders, or scroll down?
What's my newsletter? No, it was week 2.
Was it week 2?
I think it was week 2.
You're probably right. They're all rolling into one.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, cool. So pull the PDF. Where's the example? Scroll down. Is the example in there? Oh, there it is. That Country Great CD PDF. Yeah, click on it and hit open. And then it will pull out each individual photo. So you'll want to select all the photos. So hold down Shift.
Okay.
And click on 4. Oh. There you go. That selects them all. Now hit OK. So what it's going to do is open all 4 of them. So then you'll just save each one to your computer or to your desktop, and then you can pull it in to your InDesign file. Does that make sense? So we'll do the first one. Go to File.
And then I can change the opacity on it.
Yeah, and then just do Save As, or Save As. You can save it as a JPEG, or click at the format. That's where you'll change it. It'll automatically default to a PSD because you're in Photoshop, but you can change it to a JPEG or a PDF even, and either one is fine. And it'll be kind of low res, but it's not.
Okay.
At least it gives you an idea of spacing. So hit OK. And then, so now it's saved it wherever you had it saved, and then you can pull it into InDesign. So each page will be opened for you that way. So does that help?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that might give you a good starting point.
I can start over on it and do that with my pages. Okay.
Yeah. So in that case, if you're going to do it that way, you probably want to do the background last on that assignment. That way you can see where the text is, because right now you have the background on your master page, so it's on all your interior pages. Once you pull in your example, it's going to be hard to see, so you'll need to.
Okay.
I'd probably place the background last, if you're going to have example pages in there. So.
Okay, well that'll work, right?
Oh yeah, you can hide it in the master. You're right, Amanda. So if you go to your assignment, go to Pages, and then click on a master. Right click on it, and then go to panel option, or master options for a master.
Which is right here.
Is that where it is, Amanda? I actually haven't used it. Yeah, double click on, or click on that one. And, oh, no, hit cancel. Go to, right click on it again.
The same one now.
Is it in layers? I don't know if you.
Page attributes?
Yeah, no. Or panel options, try panel options. I've honestly never had to use it, so I wouldn't worry about it. It probably would just be easier if you just, I'm sure there's a way you can. Maybe the Student Success Center would know how to do it.
I'll just start over again. That'll be easier for me.
Well, you don't have to. Wait, you mean like?
Well, I haven't done very much to it anyway, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to say.
Is that right there?
You could try to just eyeball it. I mean, if you trust yourself. But just do whatever works for you. But that way, that gives you some options.
Okay.
So, all right, and bring it tomorrow, and we'll just do as much as you can tomorrow. So, in case there's a lot of students,
I'm gonna work on it as late as I can tonight.
You poor thing. Well, I admire your determination. Thanks for your hard work.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, Amanda, do you have any questions? Are we good? Okay, perfect. All right, I'll unmute you. Thanks, Erin. I appreciate you. Have a good night. All right, Amanda, I think you're unmuted, so you can ask away.
About an hour and a half before the class started. But I wanted to let you know that everything, I got home about an hour and a half before the class started. Everything is all taken care of now. And I had a little bit of chance to work on my projects, and I should have everything, all 4 of my missed assignments turned in by tomorrow, Wednesday at the latest.
Okay, yeah,
So
that's
then
fine.
that I have all week to finish up my menu if necessary. I don't think it'll take me all week to finish up my menu, honestly. But that way I have the rest of the week to focus on that.
Right. Okay, let me